Hello, Gemini. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm going to use the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, illustrated by Mark Evans. For the supporting Oracle deck, Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Okay. First half will be relationships. Second half will be singles. I will pull out the Oracle cards as I'm urged to. Excuse me, here we go with the burps. Every time, I swear. Which it's not literally every time, but it feels like it some days. Good? Okay, we're good. I got a few face down cards. 3 of them are Oracle cards, 2 of them are tarot cards, and some of them are yours, which means typically you won't need the advice until it happens, or you won't see the opportunity until it comes your way. So let's go forward and see what we're doing here. Now, the first thing I'm hitting on in this relationship spread is with your partner. The 4 of Pentacles is in their spiritual position, where they're holding back, and I'm also seeing they have a lot of opportunities around them. But I feel like they're either keeping them to themselves, or it's like they're doing things without you or something. I'm getting like these opportunities that they're holding to themselves. They're kind of like, it's a little flashy. It's like they're showing off in a sense, but they're making a big deal like how it's theirs. I don't understand exactly what we're saying with this, because there's opportunity here, but between you and them, I don't know, they're showing all these opportunities, but they're holding them back. I'm not sure if it's from you or from everybody. I just feel like it's very, whatever they've got, whatever the opportunity is, it seems to be they're very centered on it's their opportunity, it's their profit. And this four of Pentacles, I mean, that's, like, you can see the person on there, not really in the sharing mood. That's kind of what I'm seeing, but it's weird, because I'm like, I don't feel like they're not sharing at all, but I feel like it's kind of like begrudgingly. Something's a little interesting, because they have a lot of opportunities, and it's not like they can't afford to share. It just feels like they don't want to. I'm getting like a showboat thing about it. Like they're trying to hold on to it as long as possible, and they're making a big deal that it's their opportunity. Like it's all theirs. Like they did it all, that type of thing. Whether you were a part of it or not, it seems like they're tooting their own horn, and they're trying to keep it all to themselves. It's just very secular. I'm noticing on your side, for the spiritual side, you have the 3 of Cups. So I'm seeing very good social times, very good friendships here. Which makes me feel like even though your partner's kind of holding back the opportunities and keeping them to themselves, it doesn't seem to be really causing you any type of problem. Like, I feel like they're keeping the opportunities to themselves, and I'm not, like, is it coming for, like, I feel like you're aware of it, but I don't feel like, it's not affecting you in a negative way, and I'm curious why that is. A little bit of coffee. Hey, socially, you're happy. I don't feel like, for some reason, this doesn't bother you. Why doesn't it? Maybe, I mean, and they're not sharing this with anybody, not only you. And I feel like the way you just seem to be, like, not really connecting with the whole selfish vibe I'm feeling here on the other side. I was kind of like holding back from saying that word, but I do feel like they're just kind of like, there's a little bit of showboating with it too. It's almost like somebody bought a very expensive, beautiful car, but they won't let anybody else drive it, including you. And like I'm like, does he even let you ride in it? It seems like yeah, that would be fine. So I'm getting like if it's a car thing, you can ride in it, but you can't drive it. That type of thing. It's a strange place to start out, especially because I'm feeling this very. It feels kind of greedy, selfish. It does, but it doesn't bother you for whatever reason. I'm not seeing it bother you. I'm just really not seeing it bother you. Like you're kind of like well, whatever. Because it feels like it's like contained in a certain situation. Maybe that's why, because it's not like an all-around thing. It's just like in a certain situation, they're just keeping something to themselves. They're kind of showboating. They're making a big deal how it's all theirs. I just don't feel you like really upset about it. I really don't. Now, what else is going on here? Because I'm feeling like these 3 cards seem to go together. Yeah, horses on each one of them, if that gives you any indication. What keeps the situation where it is the Chariot, which seems to be also like mirrored in these 2 cards, the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Now, these two, the spots these are in is usually first progression, second progression. It can be anywhere from the past or the future to where it starts, but it's usually a progression. This one first, the Pentacles, then going into the Cups, just to where the positions they are in for this read. And the position that the Chariot is in is like what keeps the situation where it currently is. So I feel like you're very active. You got a lot going on. There's some situations you have started that are going to take a while, that have your attention for a while. There's other situations more connected with your partner, and you're doing things with your partner. So this seems to be like where you are through this whole situation. Like it's weird because you seem to be just very active. I wonder if that's one of the reasons this doesn't bother you so much, because you're so active. You got so much going on that if your partner's having a little moment where they're just kind of doing what they want and just having it all to themselves, you have so much going on, you don't have time to really worry about that. Because again, I'm not seeing it really bother you. I'm just not seeing anybody. I'm not seeing anybody on your side upset. How's that? I'm not seeing you upset. What's going on with your partner next is kind of interesting. Because I am seeing they got the Fool and they got the Page of Swords for what's keeping the situation where it is. I feel it's connected to this situation where they're very... It just feels like a greedy situation. I know that's rotten to say, but that's what I'm feeling. But they got the Fool and the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords, a lot of times, especially because of his stance, comes off defensive to me. And I feel like it's more of a verbal thing. But I feel like he or she, don't get caught up in the gender. I don't know why that flew out of my mouth, but you know. That person, your partner, is very defensive and keeping whatever it is that they have to themselves. They're keeping it to themselves. And they have the Fool here too. Like they feel like that's fine and they can do that and like nobody can question it. And you're not. I don't feel like you have time to question it. You're just like, there's too many other things going on in life, and that's just not worth the worry. So she wants to have the whatever to themselves and not let me have anything to do with it, and you know, showboat it. Let them have at it. I think have at it. It's kind of like have at it. Like I don't feel like it bothers you. It keeps coming back. It's almost like. Oh, this is... I don't know how this is going to come off, but almost like it's keeping them out of your hair for now. So that's one of the reasons it's okay, because you have so much going on. I don't know if that's good or bad. That's just what came through. Like, because they're so busy dealing with this situation and enjoying that and making it all about them, it frees you up to do other things, and it's just like it keeps them out of your hair for right now. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Now, this could be a man or a woman, or any whatever's going on there. It's just denoting your partner, so I don't want to like pigeonhole that to a gender, even though I heard a couple things fly out of my mouth, which, you know, I'm sure for some people that'll hit, for some people it won't, but what is this? Because there's things going on here. What is your partner thinking? All right, so I don't know what's going on with your partner, but I feel like they're having a momentary, very short-lived moment where they're thinking they might want to walk away from this situation. But I'm also seeing it goes from the Three of Wands to the Two of Swords. Like, I feel like at some point they're considering walking out of this relationship. But they're stopped dead in their tracks. And you know why they're stopped dead in their tracks? I almost find this ironic. They're very happy with you. They're extremely happy with you. They got the Nine of Pentacles. They're really happy to be with you. And one of the reasons, like you also, like I said, the Knight of Cups you have in your future, this is you want to do stuff with your partner. Like, I feel like your partner's considering this, maybe taking some steps to move on. And then you make some offer of love, and they're like, it wakes them up and like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Weird. Because they like it so much with you. They love being with you. They do. And that's the no with exclamation. They're not moving on. Is that correct? Okay. But why are they having this moment? Why are they having this moment? Because I feel like whatever this opportunity is, however they afforded, whatever they did, I feel like that went to their head. Went to their head, and they're thinking, there's so much out there I can do, so many possibilities. I can go in any direction I want. And it's like they forget themselves, and they forget what a good relationship they had, and maybe how long it took them to find you to begin with. And it's like it dawns on, as they're getting ready to do this, and they're starting to make plans to step out of this relationship, you make an offer of love because you love them, and it just kind of like snaps them into focus. They're like, what am I doing? Like, I feel like it's like that real quick wake-up call, like, do you want to give up all that you have and all this love that you have and all the happiness you have garnered just because you're having a moment? Like, I feel like they have this moment of clarity, like, this is not something I really want to do. But I do want to say the reason I feel like they have, things are going fast, Eight of Wands, big happy changes. Like, there's a lot of things changing for them. I feel like a lot of things are going really well for your partner. If this is hitting, things are going really well for them. And I feel like it's the speed, and just like they get caught up in the situation, and they're just like, maybe I need to change everything, including the relationship they're in with you. All these big happy changes are happening with them until you, and I don't feel like you even realize that they're exploring this option, if you want to go that far. I don't think you're even aware of it. You just make the offer of love, and it just kind of wakes them up, like, I'm gonna, like, they're all of a sudden, like, they realize, I walk out now, doesn't matter what I have, I might not be able to get this back, and even if I can, it's gonna take me so long to repair what I've broken, trust and all other stuff, whatever it is. Like, if you walk out on somebody, that hurts somebody. Like, you can't end a relationship and just mend that at will without somebody being upset. Like, you can't just walk away from somebody and then decide, oh, maybe I don't want to do that, and then try to get back with them. A lot of times people are upset, and they're like, well, if you walked away from me once, why am I going to give you a chance to walk away from me twice? And I feel like they're waking up to that. They're like, what am I doing? Like, that offer of love from you is like reminding them, like, this is a great relationship. They don't want this to go away. They don't want to start looking for someone else. They don't want to do that. I feel like there's some type of carnal interest or something weird, very passing. I feel like there's a friend connection in the sense of people are just putting ideas in this person's head and they're running with it. Things are going way too fast, and then like this offer of love from you just kind of snaps them into focus, and they're like, oh my god, I almost destroyed this. Like, what am I thinking? Because what makes this go better for them is strength. Like, the infinity, the strength, pulling it together, realizing what they have is what they want. I'm getting they're very, very happy with you. Very happy. And it's like everything's going into focus with your offer of love. It like reminds them, like, don't ruin something that you wanted. Like, don't make something, don't make something end that you don't want to end. I am seeing stuff here, though, because now I'm wondering, Because you do have these horses here. And I wasn't going that direction, but I'm seeing face down cards as I'm flipping things over. You have the Seven of Cups with the yes with the exclamation on your side. There's all these ideas, and then there's this yes with the exclamation. Like, you are definitely looking at other ideas, other possibilities. You have a lot going on around you. You have a lot going on, and there's a lot you've already committed to you're going to be a part of. So, how is this melding in? Do you know that this was happening? Do you find out that your partner was walking away or considering it? Because you're making this offer of love, but I don't feel like it's a conditional offer of love. I don't feel like it's out of desperation. I feel like it's an honest feeling of love. But I'm noticing you have all these opportunities and the yes with the exclamation here. There's a lot of things you're involved in and a lot of things you plan to stay involved with. Something comes forward to you in some respect. Because what makes things better for you is the Temperance card. You have to take your time through this. Slowing things down, I feel. I feel like there's more time with your partner is necessary or needed here. Your partner does love you, definitely. But I feel like you're not doing enough things together, or they want more of your time. And I feel like this momentary lapse of judgment, like, snapped it in. Not only do they not want this to end, but they want to spend more time with you, and they're starting to realize maybe they need to be a little bit more giving to you. I'm seeing helpful people and you with the Six of Swords here, which makes me feel like there's people around you pushing you or trying to influence how you handle things with your partner, and you're walking away from that. But I am noticing this Temperance here. So I feel like this is something you're dealing with here, but I'm like, do you know, are you aware of this, that your partner was going to do this? Is it coming to you in a roundabout way? Is it coming to you after the fact? I don't feel like they came forward with you about it. I don't feel like they told you. I feel like the information may have filtered in through different means. So you may have found out, but you're walking away from that information. But you're wondering about it. It's in the back of your head. It is in the back of your thoughts. It is. And you're wondering. And it's going to take you a while to let that go, to move on from it. I do not feel your partner came forward to you with this. I just don't feel like it came that way. I feel like it came in a roundabout way. Some of you may have found some information about what your partner was doing, like if they were looking for another place to live, or if they were looking into, if you're married, like a divorce or something like that. You found out something. You saw something. Some of you found the mail or something, and you found out what was happening. Your offer of love, even if it's after that, is still honest. I'm still feeling like it's because you honestly care. I'm not feeling your partner coming forward to you with this. I'm just not seeing that, because I feel like they're regretting the thought after the fact. And I feel like there's people around you telling you, what you should do, but you're walking away from them. You're concentrating on your relationship because you want this relationship. But it is going to take a while to move on from it. I feel like whatever it is however the information came to you, whatever way, it did make an impact. It did. It's going to take a while to kind of relax from it. And I feel like over time, your partner's going to give you some reinforcing, there's going to be reinforcing of how they feel in the way that you can understand, or you'll see how they feel. I feel like actions speak louder than words in the long run. And how your partner treats you going forward, and the fact that they want to spend more time with you. Because I feel like when you make this offer of love, not only does it snap them back into focus, like he or she, whatever. But it kind of like, not only do they want to keep this relationship with you, they'd like to spend more time with you. Like, it changes a couple things. Because I feel like with the way they were going to end the relationship, or they were seriously thinking about it. And I feel like the fact that they did that, but also seeing that this this isn't going to be like a situation that you're always going to have opportunities. You need to take opportunities when you have them, and they want to enjoy this as much as possible at the moment. And the opportunities are good. They're great here, and they want to enjoy them with you. I feel like they're coming back towards you. Like they're starting to bend away, but then they like realize that's not what they really want. Your offer of love snaps them into focus, and they're like, not only do I not want to lose you, I want to spend more time with you. And I feel like that's the direction it's going, and going forward you're going to see that. Okay. I feel like we've solved this one. Okay. So that's for Gemini relationship. It's an interesting read. An interesting read in the sense of like, I feel like it had a fairly happy ending. It's better for someone to love you and have a moment of clarity than, you know, some other options I could think of here. Because it really felt like your partner loves you. They just needed that moment to like really wise up to where they're heading. It's kind of like making bad decision after bad decision, and all of a sudden realizing just before you finally lose everything that, you know, you can turn around and you can change where you're going to keep what you actually do want. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on now. Now let's look at Gemini singles. Information for Gemini singles. Single Gemini. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to do oracle cards yet, but I have to be honest, I'm already kind of wanting to go pick up that deck. And honestly, I don't know if it's good or bad, to tell you the truth. We have to go through the read and see how far we get to here. Okay. So I think I know where we're going, but let's read as we go and find out if this is authentic to my first glance. Now, where you're standing, 8 of Swords. This is typically a card where somebody feels like they're stuck. Feels like there's nothing they can do. There's no right move. It's kind of what they're like. They can't move away. They don't like where they're standing, but they can't move. But I usually watch other people have read these cards, but I'm noticing this is a little different than usual. The way I'm honestly getting it for you, it doesn't matter how other people read the card, but I'm getting for you, I feel like you have options, but you're feeling safe where you're standing. And you're thinking, standing here in the position I'm in without really moving left or right, not really comfortable, not really happy about that, but if I step outside this circle, it's like almost like you feel protected inside this circle of swords. And it almost feels like as long as you look like you're bound, because I don't feel like you're that tightly bound, but as long as you look like it, nobody's going to challenge you or feel like you are a challenge, so nobody's really going to bother you. But I feel like you're coming to this part where you're realizing that what's binding you isn't that tough, and you can actually get out of this. You can change your view, and you can start moving in a different direction. You're just more nervous about what directions are available to you. Because I'm also seeing, not only are you standing in a position where you're kind of staying in the same spot, feeling like maybe it's the best idea, even though you're not really liking it, but feeling like, you know what, it's better than the possible negative outcome. Your thoughts are with the Knight of Wands. I feel like you're living this thought, though. What does that mean? Like you're enjoying the possibilities. You're seeing the avenues, the possibilities, where things could go. You're enjoying the good possibilities. You seem to be also, it seems like an even balance of good and bad Knight of Wands energy here. You're seeing yourself going forward and going well. And you're seeing that working out a few different ways. You're also seeing it work negatively, and you're seeing that go in a few different ways. That's kind of what I'm getting here. And I feel like that might be more of the root on why you're standing in the same spot, because you're just kind of more, it's like paralysis through analysis. Is that the saying? Because you're just overthinking it, and you're just like, you know, it could be really good, but it could be really bad. And I feel like you're convincing yourself just to wait it out, to see what happens next instead of making a move. I almost feel like that's where you are, though. And I don't know if that's a good idea, because your head seems to be really in the clouds with this a little bit. I feel like you're living through thought. You're living through possibility, but I don't feel... And even though the Knight of Wands is an action card, that is an action card, definitely. But when you have the Eight of Swords in your actual position, I feel like you're staying in the realm of thought. I don't feel like you're pushing this out. I will say, too, in the center here, you have the Four of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. The Four of Swords makes me feel like you're not making a move. The situation is at a certain level, and you're trying to hold it where it is because you're a little nervous to take that next step. But you'll also see this Five of Pentacles, you're going to kind of be left out in the cold without making some type of move, which to me, I feel like this is more of an Aries thing. I'm in Pisces, but I have some strong Aries strikes in my chart here. I'm feeling like if you just let life make the decision for you, you're going to end up with a bad decision. You could make a decision and end up with a bad decision, but it's just much better to have the control yourself and be able to say, you know what, I made this happen, instead of just like, well, life handed this to me, so that's what I got stuck with. I don't know, this just seems to be that's the way it's coming through. I don't know why. I don't usually push forth my opinion, but it really is pushing forth right now. Like, by not making a decision, you're kind of making a decision. You're letting you're letting somebody else make decisions for you, and it's just, I don't know if that's really going to work for you in the long run. Because I'm feeling like paralysis through analysis. That's what I keep feeling. I am seeing in the past, though, the Ace of Pentacles. So there's something strong here. But I almost feel like there's a lot of work. The person you're interested in is a very active, motivated person. And I almost feel like that might be... Like, I feel like they might be like a go-go person. They might be. I don't know. It feels like whatever they do, they have like a regimen they continually stay with. And I feel like this is an active person. And you might be looking at this in the sense of like, do I want to sign myself up for this, do I want to enlist in this army? I don't know why it comes through. It's almost like you'd sign up to something and you would be expected to be a part of it the same way. You would have to be a support, and you would be very active. You would have to be very active to be a part of this, and you're just like looking at it and you're like, there's certain aspects here that I'm not really sure I want. Which I feel like this is another reason. Like, I feel like you might be half yes and half no to this. The person, the love, that's great. But the situation, something about the person and how their life is going and how you would fit into it, I feel like that's kind of making you a little apprehensive. Something about this seems a little bit unappealing to you. So if this reading is hitting for you, I feel like that should make sense in whatever way. Everybody has, you know what, there's people, everybody seems to have their own level of what they consider busy and what they consider comfortable and what they consider not so busy. So, and I feel like your definitions of those in this person that you're interested in, like, it's almost like you would use, how do I want to put this? Like, if you start at 0, 0 is like the mean, like half busy, half not. That's like the mean. They would view 5 or 7 as a normal, good pace, and you would probably be like at a 3. You're active, but it's just like what they do is compared to, like, I feel like this energy is just, there's a lot going on there. And you like to think things through, you like to go through some things, you like some time for yourself, correct? You like some socialization time. And I feel like this person, getting involved with them is just, it's not like the way you usually do things. And it's like it would be a big change to your life. And you're realizing if you got involved with this person, you'd be expected to be a part of their life. They would help you. I mean, it's not like you'd be all giving and no taking. I mean, they'd help you the same way you help them. But I feel like it would make your life a lot more busy than you're expecting, or well, I shouldn't say expecting, a lot more busy than you may care for. And you're kind of looking at it that way. And I feel like that's part of this Eight of Swords. It's because I feel like that's one of the reasons you want to go out and get this started, but you're kind of seeing this go good, you're seeing it go bad. You're kind of wondering if do you really want to do this? There's a lot of apprehension here. There's a lot of questioning. There's a lot of analysis. Three of Wands, overall energy. And I've noticed this a few times lately when I read for people. You're seeing this guy on the rock. He's looking out over this bay. Is it a bay? I want to say it's a bay. It looks like a bay to me. And he sees the boats out there. But you'll notice he's looking out over this rock. And a lot of times lately, at least, I'm looking at this card and I'm thinking this is somebody considering or looking at options and making assessments. In this reading, I feel like it's making assessments. And that's the whole thing here I'm feeling with this. Because I'm also noticing in the environment, this person you're interested in, very active, has a lot going on, getting a lot going, keeps moving forward. I feel like this isn't new. I feel like this is a state of mind. This is a way of life for this person. Constantly working on stuff, constantly things coming towards this person, constantly getting involved, constantly doing this, constantly doing that. I feel like this person enjoys being active, enjoys the work. I'm seeing at the bottom here, I'm noticing the Knight of Cups and the Sun, though. You do enjoy your time with this person. And this person is good for you. You enjoy your time there, this person is good for you. I'm feeling it's kind of like a shocking change, though, you're feeling. Like, I feel like you're looking at this like your life could get really busy and that you're afraid you're not going to like that. Separate from the person, I feel like you know how you feel about the person. I do. I feel like that's not a question here. I think the change of life, how your life would change being involved with them, getting in a relationship, that's what seems to be like, you're really like, am I going to get involved in something that I'm really going to be unhappy with how my life is? Like, I'll be in love, but I'll be in love with the person and not in love with my life because I don't like how active it is, like, because I don't feel like I have enough time to do the things that I want to do anymore. Like, I feel like this is what's going on here. I feel like this is the base core worry. That you're not really sure if you're going to be happy in the long run. Like, are you going to be in love but not happy with your life? That's what you're worried about. I feel like that's the whole ball of wax here. Now, as we see here going forward, I see the King of Swords. I also see a year from now. I feel like there's plans being made a year from now. Might be end of the year, just to be fair. Might be end of the year. But there's something going on. This is this person. So the person you're interested in comes towards you. There's some type of plans. End of the year, sometime next year. It's either end of this year or sometime next year. I don't just go bare bones, whatever you want to call it. I know it says a year from now, but I'm feeling it's either the end of this year, like near the end of this year, or going into next year is kind of what I'm feeling for this. This person you're interested in is coming towards you, and like they want you involved in something, and this is going to be a little ways out. Let's leave it at that. Now, as this goes forward, I feel like you accept this, and I'm getting a yes feel here. Like you go yes, like you're like, okay, let's do that. So you say yes here, especially when I get these two cards together. I feel like the plans are made. I feel like these plans are made. End of this year-ish, into next year, something like that. There's some time. As you move forward, I'm getting it. This is the part where you're going to really see how the two of your lives start matching up. And I feel like as this first starts to meld together, the difference in your life, you're going to feel the Knight of Swords. This is the Knight of Swords I was seeing. And you got the no, but it's the passive no. You're not really sure if this is good for you. I feel like as you get involved, it's just not what you're used to. But I'm getting as you get closer to this date, you'll have a better idea. This is like as you first start out. They're like one card from the middle. Okay. 8 of Pentacles. It's going to take you some time to get used to this, but you're going to have to... I feel like the way this is going to happen is that as it first goes forward from this moment, whatever's going on later. We're just going to say later, so I don't go through that again. At first, you're going to feel like it's a lot. And you're going to be like, I don't know if I really want to do this. I don't know if I really want to. But you're getting deeper and deeper into the situation. I'm getting when this situation comes to fruition that you're planning or that's being planned for later. When that situation happens, that's where you're going to be able to really do the Eight of Pentacles. You're going to be able to really decide, is this for me or is it not? I feel like you're going to be more used to it. It's going to be more defined. I want to say that. You're going to be more used to it, but more defined is what I'm feeling. Like you're going to know how things are. You will have gone through it long enough and realize how you fit in to see how this is going forward. And at that moment, you're going to make your decision because you're going to have everything you need. All these pentacles will be lined up here for you. And you'll be ready to make that decision based on what you've experienced. I feel like you're in a much stronger place at this point. I don't feel the worry anymore. I feel like you're going to know where you want to be. You're going to know where you stand, and you're going to move forward accordingly. Because at this point, when these plans actually happen, I honestly feel you're either in and you're ready to go forward, or you're out and you're just like, this is definitely not for me, and I'm going to have to cut this off. I don't feel like there's a duality anymore. When you hit this point, you've decided where you stand. And now it's just about either moving forward with the situation and being happy with that, or stopping it and walking away. But at this point, you have been able to assess it and look at it, and you know where you stand. But this is going to happen when these plans come to fruition later. Which if you rewind the video, you know what I mean about that. Okay. I think we're good. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email. I'll give you my rates. Email from me, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.